Demon! Why did you summon me here?
I summoned you because I'm sickened by all the bullshit that goes on with this yes guy gaming. Always giving games good or mediocre scores. It's time you gave a game a bad score, and Bound by Flame is that game. Either you give this game a terrible review, or I will take over your body from the inside out. Ha 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 ha!
Yeah, no, I can totally do that.
Oh, really? Well, good. Get to it then, or else.
Yeah, okay, cool. See you later. Bound by Flame is a game that had a lot of potential, but ended up falling short in a lot of areas. Bound by Flame is an action RPG game where you take control of a mercenary named Vulcan, male or female, who is tasked with protecting these red scribes as they try to, do a thing, summon something to protect against an army of undead that's using this ancient power to take over the world. And during this, summoning or whatever, a demon comes and enters into your body.
Enough of your foolish ramblings, human. Get on with how terrible this game is already.
Yeah, alright, I got this. The combat is pretty tough to pick up, and even when you do, there's still really frustrating sections. In the combat, you can choose between either a ranger stance or a warrior stance. This changes whether you pull out and use two knives or take out your heavy weapon and swing it wildly. In both stances, you have a light attack and a heavy attack, as well as either a dodge or a block. The combat does not work that well together. Oftentimes in battles, having you just hit attack, attack, block, attack, block, repeating that process over and over again until the enemies are defeated. As well, there's a third option that you can use. You can use the flame powers that you get from the demon to summon fire and send it at your enemies. This works decently well, but I found managing your magic was really tough because you used a few spells and then it was gone, and your regeneration was super slow. I found I always had to use potions, and it was just tough to deal with. To add on to this lackluster combat, there is a completely incoherent plot to this story. I told you the gist of it before, but once you get into it, you've got to follow these elves, and then you got to go to the city, and then the army comes, and there's these ice lords, and they're leading the people, but then, there's a prince, and then, the red scribes, and then you meet a couple of your companions, they come along your way, some of them make sense, some of them don't make sense. It all just kind of jumbles together, and it doesn't really make for a coherent story. Part of the problem with this terrible story is nothing's really explained that well, and even when it is, it's not that interesting. The dialogue is terrible, one of the worst written games that I've played in a long time. Even in the first opening prologue sequence, in an epic opening scene where your character gets the demon, uses his fire powers to destroy this huge behemoth of a monster, and once you do that, everybody walks up and pretends like nothing happened.
How did I do that?
Captain, I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
The swamp? Oh, that sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously, I fried that thing. I saved our asses, and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
It's so ironic to me that your character would point out the flaw in the dialogue, and then right after your captain just goes, "Shut it, Vulcan." Like, what is that?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
There are so many what the f moments in this game where you'll be going along and something will come out and you'll go, where the hell did that come from? You know, just trying to sum up some sort of twist or, you know, just pushing the story onto you. And it's mixed with all these very forgettable characters. I can't even remember the names of some of these characters because I just didn't care. Probably the lone bright spot in this game was your character, Vulcan. I love Vulcan. I played as the male, and some of his lines were super funny, and he had some quick-witted responses and just really abuses everybody else in the game, which I thought was hilarious because everybody else's dialogue was so crap anyway. I just thought it was so funny that your character actually makes fun of pretty much everybody else throughout the game.
How arrogant of you! The demon is the best character.
Shut up.
So unless you want me to shove one of your disgustingly artistic creations right up your ass, you better roll up your sleeves and outdo yourself. I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead? Oh shit, you don't look much like a good luck charm. Fuck. When it doesn't move and it doesn't breathe and it looks at you with an even stupider gaze than one of your guards, that generally means it's dead, yeah. Damn, this place is giving me the shivers. At least there's nobody here to give a shit if I crap my pants.
The enemies that you fight against there's a huge variety. There's some epic bosses where, you know, these huge monsters like in the first scene, or a couple of other bosses are pretty epic. But then there's also some really weird enemies, like these weird barrel creatures that are super creepy mouths that pop up out of barrels, and it just weirds me out. And sometimes you'll meet a group of enemies like the Undead Army where you'll find one big brute and then a couple other ranged guys. You know, and the big brute will come after you and knock you over, and while you're fighting one guy, the ranged guys will shoot a bunch of their arrows or whatever at you. So you can't block them all at once, so you end up getting hit. And because Vulcan is so squishy, he dies in a couple hits. There were so many frustrating times where I died over and over again, and even one sequence later in the game where as soon as I walked in, I immediately died. It was so frustrating. To make this frustrating combat even worse is the heavy attack. You're supposed to do kind of like a circular sweep attack. The first strike of this often doesn't hit its target, so you'll go whoop, and then the second time you come around it'll make contact, wasting a bunch of time. As you complete missions and defeat enemies, you'll accumulate experience and you'll level up. As you level up, you'll gain skill points that you can assign to the various skills that will help out your warrior, a ranger, or the pyromancy skill trees. And these do help your combat out. Early in the game it's frustrating because you kind of suck, but once you start to build up some abilities in these, and if you can do it smartly, you'll actually start to be a beast on the battlefield. You could spend anywhere from 12 to 18 hours completing this crappy campaign with these boring, monotonous story dialogue sequences, a bunch of frustrating combat battles where you might die a bunch of times. The only bright spot is siding with the demon inside you and watching your character turn into an all-powerful, flame-wielding, demonic master.
Yes, embrace the evil.
I got this. That is why my final verdict for Bound by Flame is a 3 out of 10. A pretty bad game. There is some fun in this game, but it is plagued by so many problems. It could have been so much more. It could have been a real interesting mix between a game like Skyrim and Mass Effect to give us, you know, a melding of two really popular games, but it was just so underperformed and needed a lot more fixed for this to be even close to a good game. Well, that's it for Bound by Flame. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't go out and buy this game, and we'll see you next time.